Yesterday, there were marches all over the country, and a lot of rallying cries chanted. We want change. We want change. What do we want? Gun control. When do we want it? Now. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. The March for Our Lives movement is planned and coordinated by young people who have seen too much and feared too often, who have had more than enough and are demanding change, and it has galvanized this nation. The movement is intentionally inclusive of all communities who have been targets of gun violence and recognizes the pain within urban communities of color where such violence is too commonplace and so covered in racism that it doesn't even get press coverage, let alone a national march. As such, March for Our Lives yesterday tapped into something of a heartbeat that's been growing louder in our country for the almost 20 years since the Columbine shooting. Through Sandy Hook, through Black Lives Matter, through all the individual names and place names that have now become household words, and those that we never knew. Through local events like the shooting at the Rochester Boys and Girls Club 3 years ago, to Parkland, to Great Mills, Maryland. It's a heartbeat that grows more insistent with every heart that stops beating due to gun violence. It's a heartbeat that unites across race and class and touches hearts through common humanity. I attended the march at Washington Square Park in downtown Rochester yesterday with my son and my mom. It was led impressively from students from School of the Arts and Teen Empowerment and Brighton School District. They were eloquent in their leadership. They were inspiring. And my son, who's 18, was inspired as well. A college student at SUNY Brockport spoke about her experience being a high schooler in Sandy Hook when the shooting at the elementary school happened, and adult allies offered their perspectives. The most effective words were those that tapped into the rhythm of collective anguish and exasperation, desperation, and impatience for change. Along the fringe of the group, which was an entire city block, erupted popular chants like these: vote them out, vote them out, vote them out, and not one more, not one more, not one more. These are the cries of broken hearts in a country broken by violence. The heartbreak is expressed powerfully in marching feet and in rhythmic chant, in call and response within a crowd, like, what do we want? When do we want it? And hey, hey, ho, ho, something has to change. Like our community drumming this morning, the group experience of compelling rhythm exerts a powerful pull that speaks to the heart. Something equally powerful is going on during the events of Jesus' last days. If we listen to Mark, we can hear the heartbeat that surrounds those days. The woman who anointed Jesus for death with very expensive perfume for death was met with, "Why, oh, why, you wicked, wasteful woman? Why, oh, why, you wasteful, wicked woman?" To which Jesus cried back, "Leave her alone." When Judas hatched a plan that pleased the religious elite, the rallying cry was loud, "Betray him, betray him, betray him." To which the other 11 disciples chanted, "Someone will betray, and it will not be me. Someone will betray, it will not be me." Peter swears, I will not deny, I will not deny, I will not deny. And in the garden, Jesus exhorts his companions, hey, hey, ho, ho, your sleepiness has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, your sleepiness has got to go. Stay awake, stay awake, stay awake. When Peter is in the courtyard, a confrontation develops. You're one of his. No, I'm not. You're one of his. No, I'm not. You're one of his. No, I'm not. Politically appointed leaders condemn Jesus. What do we want? Death. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Death. When do we want it? Now. To which the crowd replies, crucify, 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 crucify. Yet over all, louder than all our cries, louder than all our exhortations, is a cosmic boom-boom, 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 boom-boom. The heartbeat of God. In this holiest of weeks, God, through Christ, engages a cosmic battle between good and evil. And that boom-boom, 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 boom-boom is heard louder than all that seeks to drown it out. What seeks to drown it out is loud. It is insistent. It mocks. It makes fun of. It asserts its right. But ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. The heartbeat of God is louder than anything else. In this Holy Week, God in Christ marches in the loudest ever march for our lives. For all our lives, God marches. For all of God's beloved creatures, God marches to the cross. For all of God's beloved creatures, Christ endures the mockery and the chants that would seek to drown out that heartbeat of love. March for our lives is the march of this week. And our lives matter enough to God to win. Our drumming this morning taps into that heartbeat. It lines us up with that heartbeat. Like a pacemaker that aligns heartbeats with what needs to be for health, our drumming lines us up with the heartbeat of God. Our expressions of faith line us up with the heartbeat of God in Christ, who goes to the cross and beyond this week for our lives. Thanks be to God.